Hi everyone, today we are getting some free plants. So today's video is the easiest way to propagate a Christmas cactus. So I'm Lisa with Down to Earth Gardening and Design. Welcome to our video today. So I said Christmas cactus, but that is a very general term for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter cactuses because they all look very similar. So you can propagate them all in the same way, and it is so easy. You just need a couple of supplies. I'm going to go through those in a second. So I absolutely love this plant here. This is my house plant, again, Thanksgiving cactus, and I've had it for a few years, and right now is a wonderful time to get some free plants and propagate it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So number one, you want to start with a healthy plant, which I have here. They don't really require much attention, which is another reason why they're one of my favorites. So timing is really important because number one, you want to propagate them before they start their growing period. So after they're done flowering, and before they start their growing period. So you should not be doing this while they're flowering because you want to make sure that you don't cause the plant any stress, and it will be easier to root the new babies if done at the proper timing. Now also, right now is a great time to be pruning your Thanksgiving cactus, which you should do every couple of years because it will promote it to be a little bushier. So all around, it's the perfect time to do so. So as far as materials that you will need some succulent and cactus soil because again, it is a cactus. And number two, you're gonna need a little tiny pot. And number three, you're going to need some snips, or you could use some scissors, or sometimes you can just break off what we need just by hand. All right, so what we're looking for is we are looking for at least 2 to 3 healthy leaf segments. Now you can cut a couple of these and put a couple in your little pot. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. This is a little bit of a process because we're going to do this step today and then we're going to come back to this project in about a day or two, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Okay, so this right here is perfect, very healthy. And you can also think about where you want it to be a little bushy because we are doing a pruning here at the same time. We're just looking around for what we're gonna snip. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna give you a close-up. We have 3 stems here that we're going to be propagating. Now it's a good time to also tell you that this is one way to identify if you have a Thanksgiving, Christmas, or Easter cactus is by looking at a close-up of the leaves. So we're looking at the shape. So this right here is a Thanksgiving cactus. And then another way to identify which one you have, if you're not sure, is the flowering time. So this flowers around Thanksgiving, and it would be the same for Christmas, would be flowering around Christmas time, and Easter too would be more of a spring flowering cactus. Okay, so I had mentioned that this is going to take a day or two, and that is because what we'll be doing is just taking a piece of paper towel, and we're going to be laying them out to make sure they're dry. We don't want any rot. We don't want anything soggy, but also we want the base here to callus over a little bit. So this is going to be the first step in our project. So this is going to be it, and we're going to leave it alone in a nice dry place for a day or two. It's been about 3 days and our cuttings are ready. So remember, we're just waiting for them to callus over a little bit, and we are not using any rooting hormone. So we're going to be planting these directly into soil. Now what you're going to need for materials is besides your cuttings, you're going to need a little pot. Now they like tight spaces, so you could even put a couple of cuttings in each pot. I would recommend about a 3 to 4 inch pot. You just have to make sure it has a drainage hole. So clay pots are very inexpensive and they're great for succulents because they will wick away any excess moisture, because succulents do not require or like a lot of water or to be waterlogged. So again, just make sure you have a drainage hole. So I may use a combination of two. I think I'm going to pot up 2 in one and then another singular cutting in another pot. So I may have one for a gift. Okay, so then you're going to need your cacti and succulent soil, and I like to have something to put in the bottom of the pot just so the soil doesn't fall through. So a little piece of screen or a coffee filter works great. And that's pretty much it. You can use a trowel, you can use a chopstick, or you could even use a plastic spoon to go ahead and get your little cuttings in the soil. All right, let's get started here. We're using our cactus and succulent soil, and you can make your own. So what we'll do is we will put up some ingredients and a little recipe in the description in case you want to make your own soil, because it's so easy and then you know exactly what ingredients are in the soil. So the easiest thing to do for this project is to just go ahead and fill up your little pots with the soil. Now I'm just going to lightly mist the soil just to get it a little damp. And then this is just a planting label, so another great option for this project. What you want to do is you want to bury the bottom leaf about 1 inch down. So if you have a cutting that has 2 or more segments, it could be up to 5 or 6. That's great because you're going to be burying quite a bit of this into the soil. I'm going to do 2 in this pot. The reason I'm going to do 2 in the pot is I'll have a nice full little pot, and we're going to talk about aftercare and transplanting at the end of the video. And just a hot tip is they won't require transplanting for a while. So I'd like a nice full little pot. Now I am pushing down on the soil a little bit just to get them to stand up. And if you need to, you can just top off the soil a little bit. So just a couple of fun facts on the Thanksgiving cactus is it's also called a crab cactus, which is a fun little name. But the reason why this is a really easy project to do is that they don't have very extensive root systems. So it really won't take long for it to throw out some new roots into the soil. So actually, depending on the conditions, it'll be about 3 to 6 weeks that you'll have roots. And what you'll want to do is just tug on it ever so lightly just to see if it's rooted in there. Now, as far as transplanting it, this is why it's important to pick a nice little pot, because I would recommend leaving it in the pot for a minimum of 3 months. So I'm actually going to leave mine in these pots for a year or more. So they're so easy to take care of. I'm going to do this project and then I can kind of forget about it, which is pretty great. So it needs minimal aftercare. So you want to keep it in a warm, dry location, and it will be out of direct sunlight. So it does like some indirect sunlight, so not in full sun. And then for watering, it requires a little more water while it's putting out its roots. So you can go ahead and give it a good drink once in a while. Now, again, it is a cactus, so it doesn't require a lot of water. So what I like to do is just take my misting bottle and mist it. And so I'm going to do this again once they're all planted in the soil. And then that's it. Free plants. What's better than that? So that's it for today. If you liked our video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video and are looking to see some more, subscribe to our channel for some future gardening fun.